Louisiana beer reviews. This is Pontoon Brewing's Evergreen Terrace West Coast IPA. There's the funny animals that Pontoon tends to have on their beers. I bought this today at Mathern's. There are no video reviews for this at the time of this recording, so this is the first video review for this product in the world. It's 8% alcohol. Now, tell you what, it's not listed on their website. They got a link to Untapped, but it says 8% alcohol, served 40 to 45 degrees, pint can, 100 IBUs, 100 IBUs. Oh, the good old days. I thought the good old days were dead and gone, but that used to be a big deal 10 years ago when all the IPAs were trying to hit 100, 102 IBUs, like with the Sonoma Farmhouse Hop Stupid IPA, Double West Coast IPA with Citra, okay, I'm going to put this in alphabetical order. Citra, Michigan Chinook hops, Simcoe and Strata, that's the right order. Citra, Michigan, Chinook hops. I didn't know they had that in Michigan. And Simcoe and Strata are the other ones, and they don't list the malts, but I'm sure it's a pale malt. Oh, I don't see a date, guys. Sandy Springs, Georgia. Yeah, there's no. It's an adhesive, paper adhesive label on the plain cylindrical aluminum can. I don't see a date, guys. That's horse hockey. You know, there's no reason you can't put a date. That chaps my chapstick. And I would say to those people, put the damn date! But anyway, let's crack it open. It was $3.49 for the pint. So we're talking about $13.96 a 4-pack. Oh yes, expensive. Is it worth it? Well, I think we can all decide that on our own. If you want it real bad and you buy it, I mean, I guess it's worth it. But you know what I'm saying. So, is it worth it relative to much lower price India Pale Ales? India Pale Ales is a dicey subject these days for the last close to 10 years now, and could really start a lot of tension and trouble talking about these because there's so many devotees to like West Coast, Gulf Coast, Middle Coast, East Coast, hazy, NE-IPAs, D-IPAs, brute IPAs. Well, there's only like 5 people in America that are devotees of that. I'm one of those 5. The flavored IPAs and so forth. And they get very agitated if you bring up, well, just the topic. They get very angry. People get very angry. Very, very angry. All right. So the label is terrible, but most of their labels are terrible, but it's what's inside, I guess. Can't judge a beer by its can art. You can judge the marketing by that. All right, now the head is thick. It's not really spongy, but it's more like soapy. You know, like I was washing dishes today, and it's like that's the dishwater. You know, I mean the soap in the what you call that? You know, when you're washing dishes. It's orange and it's translucent, but it's not transparent. And woof, there is a rather huge amount, as if you want to say a plethora, of suspended sediment. Some are big tan chunks, and some are powdery, and you cannot discern the color. If you're in Canada, the color. All right. They had so many singles at Mathern's. They was just from Washington, D.C., and from the Louisiana, and from Georgia. It's just down the line. No, tall cans. I was like, can I buy all of these? $3.50 to $4.99 a can. It's very expensive, and I just pick and choose. So I said, oh, the old classic style, and I didn't know it was 100 IBUs until a few minutes ago. Okay. Yeah, it's real pungent, and there's intense bread crust, well, it's not really like hop oils or hop it's part of it, but it's just bursting in concert. It's like these old, like I'm saying, this from 10 years ago. Back in my day, they're just, it's like a boldness, a strongness, and I think resinous characteristics is part of it. But it's hard to pin them down like this. Oh, and then it's that. Oh, and I noticed that hop variety. I don't think so easy. Yeah. The appearance is nice, and the aroma is a winner, a very profound winner, actually. I don't get to smell this type of thing too much anymore. Let's go with the taste. I don't know what Evergreen Terrace is. There's a shopping center, Evergreen Plaza, and I don't remember where that is. I was thinking of M.A. Green. Anyway. The funny thing about 100 IBUs is that it doesn't really taste that strong. It might build now as I sip on it, but really it's more sweet than bitter. It's gamey in a way. It's just give you kind of like just kind of grit your teeth. White bread crust. Look at the lacing. It's amazing. It's a clean glass and sticking there thick, or clingy, at least sticky. On the sweetness scale, I think it's pretty sweet, like 3.5 out of 5 sugar cubes. The bitterness scale is going to be more problematic for me because it'll almost like vary with each sip throughout the sampling. In my mind, it's more vegetative than bitter. Like there's a vegetative note of some type. And I think the bitterness is reserved. If you would have given this to me cold and said, oh, now don't say, oh, it's old. It's old. There's no date, guys. It's old. I dig the date thing, and I'm part of that faction, but these just hit the shelves. I mean, they're new. They're not old. We get a pretty good turnover here, but you got to watch, because you'll see some old ones in there. I mean, really old, like artifacts. But yeah, so the age is not a factor. But if you hit me with this cold, I would never guess 100 IBUs. I just would not guess that. I know it's true. I know they're not lying. That's what their gauge shows, but their instruments. But I guess the bitterness level is elevated to an extent, but there is no harshness. Now some of these would be harsh, you know, but then there's a gaminess in the flavor, like I said before. But I think that's coming from the malt. I think it's coming from the malt notes more than the bitterness, the hops. This is a tricky one. The body. It's not particularly heavy. I would say between medium and high medium. I'm sorry, between medium and heavy, which would be high medium. Between medium and heavy. And the finish, well, dry, mostly. Pontoon, in a way, they're kind of hard to take seriously because it's all about cartoons. They make like oblique references to movies and cartoons. I never heard of these movies and cartoons, and if I have heard of them, I've never seen them because I don't watch that kind of stuff. And so they're all like, you know, you get it, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't get it. And I don't even care to get it, you know. So I find that the level of the artwork is poor. And a lot of their stuff is like, and I'm leading on to the next thing. A lot of their stuff is like dessert quality, like sweet donut, like pastry, and so forth, stouts, and all of these things. High ABV, and I think the high ABV, some of these would be 10 or more, but usually around 10, and then or 8 to 10, and then flavor with all sorts of confectionaries. And I think those can mask maybe sloppy production. And I've had some of their products that were like discernibly, you know, just like, wow, this is not good. You know, like there's like no mid-range. It's like either really delightful or it's depressingly bad, you know. And so I've enjoyed all those dessert-like stout beers and ales. Some of them were ales, not stouts, like the pancake syrup pancake thing. But this one is not using all of those tricks, you know, the tricks. Because it's just the water, the barley malt, the hops, and the yeast. So, to me, it works. It's overt, and it's, like I said, it's strong, it's intense, it's gamey. I don't think it's going to appeal to too many people, though. I don't think it doesn't feel like 100 IBUs. It feels pretty sweet. Like I said, high medium body, you know, semi-dry or mostly dry finish, yes. But I don't know. I just think a lot of people that's into NE IPAs and the fruity and hazy IPAs, they would hate this. This would just, maybe even people that like the old West Coast style would hate it because it's too too Yeah, it's kind of like too rough around the edges. It's not refined, but I like that sort of like roustabout approach. You know what I mean? Just like going in full force, like Lisa and Cult Jam in full force. You know what I mean? Just like just nailing it down. You know, just kind of throwing caution to the wind in some respects. I didn't know what to expect with this, so I didn't have any preconceived notions. I didn't pay any mind to the funny animal label because I'm used to that. I know their oper that's their operation. So well, just a few, like literally, not long ago, I saw the 100 IBU, so I was thinking, oh, this is going to be like the old days. It's not like the hop. Now the hop stupid. That's another story because it didn't ever have what you would think it would have with 102 IBUs. And I think that was the ironic part of it. They were saying, so 102, you know, oh, you can't take it. You know, it's don't even buy this product. You know, you don't want this. And then you would drink it and you'd say, oh, okay, I see the joke. It's like not bitter. Yeah, it's sweet, candy sweet. And but they're not touting the. They mention it on that label, not touting it. I don't know. I can't figure this product out. It's a mysterious thing, which is good because I'm so tired of all these beers one after the other, and it's like, oh, well, it's okay, or I like it. Give it a 93. Upper level mediocrity. What we were talking about, like going to the Citrus Bowl every year. It's good. It's better than going 2-10, 0-12, 3-9. You know, some teams that's all they do every year, never win. And you got to respect the fans that go to every game. You know, the real fans, not the fake fans that only show up when they win. But this, but this one is not like that. This is not the upper level mediocrity. This is an intriguing thing. It's going to score high. So I would say if you see the label, you're going to say, oh, I don't want that. This is like everything I hate about, you know, the beer in the early 2020s. It's a turnoff. I agree with that part of it. But the product, and this might be gone in a month, like you never see it again, you know. I would buy the product. I would get it again. I might buy another pint from see if my friend David wants to do a review. And he's real particular about IPAs. Like he's worse than me. Like, you know, like going after different. It's not faults because we're not brewers. We don't know what faults are. We just drink. We literally just taste the products. But like I say, I keep saying enigmatic. I can't figure it out. I don't know what to say about the beer. People would say, "Do you like it?" I love it, actually. Do you understand it? No. Do you appreciate it? Yes. Do you recommend it? Definitely. Can you properly assess it? Not necessarily. But they're giving it pretty high scores, 79. I think 79 on Untapped. Yes. But not too many check-ins. I feel comfortable. I feel comfortably uncomfortable. What I meant to say is I feel uncomfortably comfortable to give this a 90. You know, there's all the concomitant things like fruit. There's fruit. But it's not like what you're thinking. And there's, I just can't figure it out. Yes, I think a 97 would be appropriate. 97, amazing. Well, it better be a 97. I paid a lot of money for this beer. You say 349, that's nothing. Well, yeah, well. Anyway, yeah, it's a 97. It's a most excellent product, an A, and but it'll confuse you. It'll confuse you. You'll be all confused, discombobulated, and unable to reach a conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, not really, but kind of really. Yeah, I think this is going to be a revisit down the road. I mean, nobody's going to watch the videos. They're going to say, I ain't watching these obscure videos for obscure beers that I never heard of and certainly cannot get. I understand that because I never do that either. Never watch them. But yeah, if you see it, chances are you won't. But you know, if you do, it's got to be one of the more intriguing IPAs of the last 10 years. 10 years. But we've had some great ones. We had some great ones from Lagunitas. The Stereophonic has been very interesting. I wouldn't say they're great. They're interesting. You know, they have interesting characteristics. It's been a lot of duds. Too many duds. But you just have to kind of like go through the weeds. You know, you just kind of like go through and say, ooh, more money wasted, you know. And you might say, I'm tired of that. I'm putting 80% down in studs and 20% is a jewel, and I just, oh well, so what? You're just buying products, you're trying them. What difference does it make? It's just a hobby. It's not your religion. It shouldn't be your religion. So yeah, 97 out of 100. Yeah, I like it. It's I'm drinking on it. It's got me confused. I'm thinking, oh, chutney, mango chutney. No, don't say that. Craziness. The stouts, I think the stouts are easier to figure out. Yes. All right. So Laissez Le Bon Temps Relais, a very confusing beer, but very enjoyable and most excellent. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all go to Georgia and tour the Didn't think of the name. The Pontoon Brewing Brewery.